चले बाबा के पास, शिव बाबा के पास, मेरे बाबा के पास, शिव बाबा के पास। कितनी खुशियाँ भरी आज राहों में है, दिव्य दुनिया समाई निगाहों में है। कितनी खुशियाँ भरी आज राहों में है, दिव्य दुनिया समाई निगाहों में है। मुझे खुद ही खुद पर होता है नाज, मुझे खुद ही।
Om Shanti. Good evening to all the viewers, today's participant and well-wisher. So, demo counseling by the students of counseling and spiritual health. Case for today's webinar is Delimia. Counselor is Dr. Tulika Das. Like to give a brief introduction about today's counselor. Sister Tulika Das ji is an ex-student of counseling and spiritual health, has got masters, retired from one of the best technical institute of Kolkata as a faculty, and has started practicing as a spiritual counselor for the last 3 years, very successfully. She has honed her spiritual counseling skills to an excellent level and is a dedicated spiritual counselor. With her efficient counseling therapies and techniques, many of her clients have got enormous benefits in their life in respect of stress, depression, and anxiety, and are leading a life full of peace, happiness, amid the tranquility of ups and downs of life. With her in supportive role, we have Sister Naina Saxena. Sister Naina Saxena ji is also got masters in counseling and spiritual health, and is a PhD scholar now and has given performance for our webinars with her dedicated spiritual counseling for the last 3 years. Very successful. Today's session will be live on YouTube and it will be uploaded on Facebook also. Request our viewers to like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel for themselves and to their friends. And we'll be happy if they can be with us for the session from the beginning to end, with the remembrance of beloved Shiv Baba, who is our Supreme Father, Supreme Teacher, Supreme Sadguru, and also Supreme Counselor. We also seek the blessing from our most loving Dadajis and from senior brethren and sisters. May I invite today's counselor, Dr. Tulika Das, to start today's session. Thank you very much. Option.
Thank you, Bhaiji, for your kind introduction. Om Shanti. Good evening, everybody. Today's demo counseling session is on dilemma. Dilemma is a problem offering two possibilities, neither of which is unambiguously acceptable or preferable. In order to take the right decision, we must collect relevant information, including laws, policies, and guidelines. Consider who may be affected by the decision and re-evaluate the problem from an unbiased perspective. Now, with the blessings of our Supreme Father, Supreme Teacher, and Supreme Counselor, Parampita Paramatma, Sister Naina and I shall begin today's session. Good evening, Sister. How can I help you today? Sister, you are mute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, sister. I'm good. What about you, sister?
I'm fine, Sister. How can I help you today?
एक्चुअली सिस्टर मैं आपके पास आई हूँ और बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब बहुत डिस्टर्ब होके और बहुत उम्मीदों के साथ आपके पास आई हूँ. So first of all, I want to ask you, are you comfortable with Hindi also, sister?
Oh, you mix the two languages, Sister. No problem. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much, sister. Actually, problem is that, sister, कि I am very, very disappointed with my sister-in-law, means my भाभी जी. एक्चुअली हम दो भाई बहन हैं. मेरा जो छोटा भाई है वो बहुत अच्छा है, हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी है. और अभी कुछ टाइम पहले जो हम लोगों की शादियां हो गई थी, उसके बाद भी हम लोग एक दूसरे के घर आते जाते रहते थे. हमारा जो कह सकते हैं कि हमारा जो मम्मी डैडी का घर है, हम आते जाते रहते थे. और सप्ताह में एक बार तो हम लोगों का मिलना जुलना रहता ही रहता था. कुछ नहीं तो फोन पे बात हमारी होती ही रहती थी. इतना हम लोगों का प्यार आपस में और ये सब चीजें थी. लेकिन कहते थे कि मैं आफ्टर शादी अहमदाबाद में शिफ्ट हो गई. मेरी जो ससुराल है वो अहमदाबाद की है. कुछ समय बाद मैंने देखा कि हम लोग अपने अपने कामों में से इतना ज्यादा बिजी हो गए कि मैंने देखा कि 6 महीने पास आउट हो गए हैं और मैंने अपने भाई को अभी तक कोई फोन नहीं मिलाया, कोई बातचीत नहीं हुई, हमारी कोई सूचना एक दूसरे को नहीं मिली. फिर मैंने बैठे बैठे अचानक उसको फोन मिला लिया. मैंने पूछा, भाई आप कैसे हो? उसने मुझसे बात की, लेकिन उसकी बात में ना कहते हैं कि हम दोनों के एक प्यार है, हम भाई बहन है, एक ही ब्लड रिलेशन है. तो कहीं ना कहीं मैंने पहचाना कि समथिंग रॉन्ग इससे है. उसने कहा नहीं, एवरीथिंग इज गुड, और बस नॉर्मली बात करके उसने फोन रख दिया. लेकिन सिस्टर वो बात मुझे पिंच करती रही कि नो, बात इतनी नहीं है, समथिंग रॉन्ग इज देयर. देन मैंने नेक्स्ट डे उसको फिर फोन मिलाया, या तो आप मुझे बताइए, अदरवाइज मैं खुद उधर आ रही हूँ. देन सिस्टर उन्होंने मुझे कुछ एक ऐसी बात बताई जो बहुत ज्यादा मेरे लिए भी डिसअपॉइंट करने वाली थी. भाई ने मुझे बोला कि एक्चुअली he then told me that my sister-in-law was engaged in an extramarital affair. I could hardly believe him. They had a 10-year old son. I thought such thing happened with actors or actress. हम यही जानते हैं कि एक्टर्स और एक्ट्रेस के ही लाइफ में ये सब होता होगा. But I never had any idea this such incident take place in ordinary family. I was too shocked to speak. I soon found out from my mother that my sister-in-law was avoiding my parents. Usually, my brother and sister-in-law used to visit my parents with their son every weekend. बट द लास्ट 8 मंथ मेरे को पेरेंट्स के द्वारा पता चला कि लास्ट 8 महीनों से वो लोग उनके घर गए ही नहीं है. 2 weeks later, my brother called me to say that he was diagnosed with fatty liver. He seemed very disturbed. He explained me to fatty liver can lead to serious liver damage, including cirrhosis, which is end-stage liver disease. Cirrhosis can cause liver failure and liver cancer. I told him not to worry and that he should take medicine as prescribed by doctor regularly. He told me that he did not have any inclination to live anymore. वो मैं सुन के मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती मुझे कैसा लगा जब मेरे भाई ने मुझे बोला कि अब वो और ज्यादा जीना नहीं चाहता. I felt helpless. I could not share this with my parents. I soon found out that he had started drinking. Within 6 months, he was diagnosed with liver cirrhosis, and after 2 months, he passed away, leaving behind his wife and 10-year-old son. His last words to me were, "Take my son away from them." His last word really to her, "Take my son away from his mother and let him stay with his daddy."
Where is your nephew now, sister? With your mother?
No, 1 year has passed since the death of my brother. My nephew is not 11. My nephew is now 11 years old. He is very intelligent and very good at study, but he is totally uncared by his mother. My nephew was a very lavish child. वो बहुत ज्यादा साइलेंट है, बहुत ज्यादा टॉकेटिव है. इवन टॉकेटिव बोल तो हमारे कुछ लोगों के बीच में है, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा वो बोलता नहीं है. कुछ समय से हमें पता चला कि वो मेरे से रिक्वेस्ट करता है कि बुआ प्लीज प्लीज मुझे मेरी दादी के पास छोड़ दो, मैं उन्हीं के पास रहना चाहता हूँ. आई डोंट वांट टू स्टे विद माय मदर एनी मोर. और ये बहुत बड़ी बात है कि जब एक बच्चा कहता है कि वो अपनी माँ के साथ नहीं बल्कि अपनी पूरी लाइफ अपनी दादी के साथ रहना चाहता है. She does not even notice me when I am around her. She is always busy with herself. She does not give me any attention when I return home 5 p.m. और उसने मुझे बहुत गहरी बात बताई कि जब भी वो घर आता है वो देखता है कि उसकी माँ ऑलरेडी किसी और के साथ फोन पे बिजी होती है. और ये छोटी बात नहीं है मैम. Before my father left me, he had told me that he was very ill and most probably he would not live any longer. In case something happened to him, I must go to stay with daddy. और उसके ये जो सबसे बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है मेरे लिए कि उसने यही कहा कि लास्ट टाइम पे बुआ मेरे पापा ने मुझे यही बोला है कि तुम अपने दादी के साथ रहना, माँ के साथ मत रहना. बुआ प्लीज टेक मी टू दादी हाउस. I don't want to stay with my mother anymore. She does not love me now. I called my mother then, now, but I was very much upset at what my mother told me. I am also very confused about it.
What did she say, sister?
At least she said that my sister-in-law has now demanded for her share of property. After she gets the property, she will marry another person.
Did your sister-in-law say that she will marry somebody?
Yes, she is now interested in her share of property in her son. I don't know what to do. I'm in a dilemma. Should my parents divide the house and give her share? Or should they just keep quiet and forget the matter? Who will take care of my nephew? You know, education is very expensive nowadays. Please help me to take a decision actually what to do.
I understand your concern for your nephew. He is very intelligent and good at studies. So, with proper guidance, he will be able to build his career. Your brother-in-law knew that your sister-in-law would not carry out her duties and responsibilities of bringing up her only son in his absence. She was interested in her own affairs now. So he wanted his son to be under the guidance of your mother. Sister, he knew that your mother has grown old, but still he had confidence in her regarding the upbringing of his son. Your nephew is also old enough to understand that his mother is not taking sufficient care of him. See, he's 11 years old, no? He's not a baby. So he understands. So, besides, his father had already told him that after his death, he must go to his dadi. So, he's mentally prepared for it. So, now it is not surprising that he needs attention after his father's death. And so, he knows he will get attention from his dadi only. Mother is not giving him any attention. He says his mother doesn't love him anymore. This is really very sad. And now he wants to go and stay with his dadi. Let me tell you something. Grandparents do not automatically have the legal right to take care of their grandchildren after the death of a parent. In India, grandparents can be granted custody of the children in cases where the mother is deemed emotionally unfit and financially incapable of taking care of the children after the death of the father. Do you think that your sister in law will have any objection to your parents taking custody of her son?
नो, नो, उनको तो कोई भी ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं होगा, इवन शी इज हैप्पी बिकॉज वो फ्री हो जाएंगी, बिकॉज वो चाहते यही है कि बच्चा उनके अराउंड ना रहे ताकि वो फ्रीली वो कर सके जो एक्चुअल में वो करना चाहती हैं.
But what do you want, sister? Do you want it to be done unofficially?
Actually, Sam, this will be done unofficially. Do we have to go through the court? That's my question.
See, grandparents do not automatically gain custody of their grandchildren, even if both parents pass away. The court will look at who can provide the most stable, satisfactory, and secure environment. And they may consider grandparents to take custody of the grandchild if they are satisfied. See, to legally care for a grandchild after parents' death, grandparents must petition the court to be appointed as legal guardians. The court will always see to the best interest of the child, and they will see that the child is served well when making a custody decision. See, they will also consider whether the grandparents have the ability to provide a stable home and care.
Actually, sister, I don't like the idea of going through the court. But if that is good for my nephew, I think we must go ahead.
Yes, sister. See, none of us actually like to go through the court, no? But in this case, there is no other alternative, no? Because later on, it may be the mother will blame the grandparents for taking away the child from her, isn't it? So we
Yes.
must be in the safe side. See, you are also worried about the division of property. See, I don't think your sister-in-law wants a claim of your father's house. See, the flat in which she lives must be in your brother's name, isn't it?
Yes.
Has your brother left a will?
No, I don't think so. In such a case, the matter would have been settled.
Yes, you are right. See, if the deceased husband left a will, the property is transferred according to the terms of the will. And the will must be in writing, signed by the deceased in the presence of at least 2 witnesses, who must also sign the document. If he did not leave a will, the property will be divided equally among his wife, your mother, and your nephew. See, this is the reason she has approached your mother for claim of her property. Your mother is one of the legal heirs. Your sister-in-law cannot bypass your mother. See, besides, education is very expensive nowadays. So if your sister-in-law is willing to sell off the flat your mother can use her portion of money for your nephew's education, isn't it?
But as soon as she get her property, she will marry the man.
See, sister, there is no general legal prohibition on a wife remarrying after her husband's death. The Hindu Widows Remarriage and Property Act allows Hindu widows to remarry. So you cannot prevent her from remarrying. This is certainly not within your purview. You have no right to prevent her from doing so. Besides, she will not listen to you. No, at present, her mind is somewhere else. So I suggest that you do not think about your sister-in-law. Instead, you concentrate upon how to help your nephew to come under the guidance of your parents as early as possible, so that he can grow up in a good and favorable environment, so that he can pursue his studies happily and can become successful in his life. You understand, sister?
Yes, yes, yes. But the problem is that I don't think so that she will be very happy to hand over the responsibility of her son to my parents. She will become free now.
Yes, maybe. Actually, see, we don't know what is in her mind, no? And she also knows that if her son is good at studies, and if he has to pursue his career, she needs money. She requires money, isn't it? Right?
Mm.
So maybe she'll be gladly handing over her duties and responsibilities to your father and mother, isn't it? But of course, see,
Yes.
her son is also wanting to stay with his daddy, isn't it? He's mentally
Mm.
prepared that he will go and stay with them. So, in this case, I think there will be no problem.
Yes. Okay.
I hope I've been clear enough, sister.
आई थिंक इट्स सो गुड अगर ऑफिशियली ही इसका एकमात्र रास्ता है तो बिल्कुल हम इसको भी अपनाएंगे, जरूर अपनाएंगे। ये आप सही कह रही हैं और मैं समझती हूँ उसमें ये भी ठीक रहेगा कि अगर बच्चा खुद इस बात को देता है लिख के, हालांकि वो अभी बालक तो नहीं है, लेकिन अगर बच्चा खुद इस बात को लिख के दे रहा है कि मैं दादी के पास रहना चाहता हूँ और दादी संपन्न है उसको अच्छी एजुकेशन वगैरह देने में, तो कोर्ट को भी इसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। और जहां तक बात रही बिजनेस को, उसमें हम लोग हैं उनकी तरफ से भी, भले भाभी आज किसी और से शादी करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन उनके जो सगे भाई और बहन हैं वो हम लोगों से बहुत अच्छे से परिचित है। वो खुद इस चीज के लिए कहते हैं क्या करिए लड़की, यानी वो अपने खुद के सिस्टर के लिए, अपनी बेटी के लिए कहते हैं जाना चाहती है जाने दो, कोई बात नहीं है, हमें आप पे पूरा भरोसा है, आप इस बच्चे की कस्टडी अपनाएंगे, ये इसका जीवन, अगर ये किसी और के साथ खुश है तो हम लोगों को भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए। तो बहुत अंडरस्टैंड फैमिली है उनकी भी, और ये चीज ठीक भी लगती है। और अच्छा है को अगर हो सकता है फ्यूचर में कुछ ऐसा हो जाए उसका माइंड परिवर्तन हो जाए और दोनों अपने माँ बेटे एक साथ रहें तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। लेकिन जब तक ये चीज सॉर्ट आउट नहीं होती तो अच्छा है कि वो किसी ऐसी कई स्थिति में रहे जहाँ उसका फ्यूचर सिक्योर हो।
Exactly.
सही में आपने बहुत अच्छे, आपने ये जो गाइडेंस दी है रियली टू गुड, क्योंकि इस समय सच में बहुत ज्यादा परेशान थी इस बात को लेके कि क्या होगा, क्योंकि मैं तो रहती हूँ अहमदाबाद में, लेकिन जब मैंने उस बच्चे की बात से सुनी कि मुझे दादी के पास ले जाओ, मेरे पापा के लास्ट शब्द मेरे से ये थे, तो मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती कि मेरी भी कहते हैं ना दिन रात एक ये हो गया, क्या करूं क्या ना करूं। तो एग्जैक्टली अभी मुझे फिर मेरे को लोगों ने आपके लिए आपका नाम बताया, आपके लिए सजेस्ट किया, तो पहले मुझे लग रहा था कि काउंसलिंग ये घर का मैटर बाहर कैसे है ये, लेकिन जब मैंने आपके और सेशंस देखे, ये सब देखा, तो मैंने मुझे सच में इतना अच्छा लगा कि आप लोग इस प्लेटफॉर्म को कितना अच्छे से यूज करते हैं। आप हमारी लाइफ को हमसे कितनी बेहतर तरीके से जान के हमें उस चीज से, हमारे जो डिलेमा है, हमारे जो व्यर्थ संकल्प है, हमारी इन चीजों से कितनी शॉर्टेज उसको कर देते हैं, सुलझा देते हैं कि उलझन फिर उलझन रहती नहीं है। तो आपने सच में बहुत अच्छा रास्ता बताया सिस्टर, दिल से आपका बहुत बहुत थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।
Thank you, sister. My good wishes are always with you and your nephew. I wish him success in life. Thank you.
थैंक यू सिस्टर, थैंक यू।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tulika Dasi. learned counselor for today's case, Relina. Counselor has told to our counselor that she and her brother staying together with their parents before the marriage, with their parents. After the marriage, she shifted to another city, and her brother also got married, having one child. She was in regular touch with her brother and was taking care of and was in constant touch with him. So brother told her on a phone once that he is not keeping well as he was having a problem of liver, and he is quite worried about his son, and his wife has got extra marital affair also. And this was a big setback for her because she was taking care of her brother and was very much worried about the upbringing of her nephew. And her main issue in today's session was about the upbringing of her nephew because nephew is now about 10 years old. Is a very affectionate one. Since his mother is not taking care of her properly, he's got attachment with her grandmother. And because of not taking proper care, the sister is, or the auntie of this child, has asked for suggestion from our counselor as she got the news recently that her brother expired due to this problem of liver failure and left behind him his wife and his son. And he had a flat in his name. And since there is no will in writing and not registered in anybody's name, as the wife has shown us interest to get remarried, so in absence of anyone who is the custodian of her nephew, and in case the wife sells the flat without the proper will of the flat, who will be the beneficiary of the proceeds of the sale of the flat? Because child's father is not there, who was looking to the benefit of the child. So what is the best suggestion so that the interest of the child in respect of his upbringing education, what best can be done in case the flat is to be sold out and child interest after taking care of it, so that he gets expenses regular for his education and for his upbringing till he becomes an adult. So the matter is now not in the court, and the one who's looking for the benefit of the child is his grandmother. So the suggestions given by counselors are very important, which needs to be followed at the earliest. So before the mother gets remarried, the grandmother or somebody who can take care of the interest of a child must make it sure that the wife doesn't sell the flat and transfer the entire custody of flat in her name. The best suggestion is to make sure that first of all, with whom the child wants to stay. In case he wants to stay with his mother, that also one of the alternatives possible. But if he wants to stay with his grandmother, that also can be considered. As far as the immediate concern is to see that the child gets regular income and his interest is at the best, with the joint meeting of those who can take the benefit of the child, including the mother, her grandmother, and somebody from the legal side, maybe they lie from both the side, can have a joint meeting and tri-party agreement can be made, which can be registered in the court also, that without the consent of the grandmother, the wife will not be able to sell the flat. And in case the flat is to be sold, then the proceeds of the flat should be divided equally in the name of grandmother and the wife. And as per the law of the Indian Constitution, the proceeds should be divided equally between the mother of the son and the wife of the husband, and this amount can be kept in the name of the child with the joint name of the mother, so that the interest which he gets from this can be given to the child monthly in respect of his expenses for the education and for the upbringing. And as the wife wants to get remarried, this is her wish. And in case there is a problem with the custody of the child is already about 11 years old. So if he wants to stay with the grandmother, you can stay with her. Or maybe in case the mother wants to visit him or wants to keep her with her. So once in a fortnight, depending on the child's wish, can stay with his mother also. So this was a case of a relationship issue between the husband and wife. But as the husband dies recently, so the case involves rather custody of the child and the upbringing of the child with his best interest, because the only income which a child can get now in absence of his father is the pursuit of life. So that must be kept into consideration. And immediately the better that the interest of the child which is at stake should be taken care of. And in every respect, the mothers, in case of absence of the written will of the husband, she should also take the interest of the child. So these are the few suggestions, and also for the grandmother or the mother of the son who was married, we suggested to go for a meditation as she has got attachment with her grandson, and it's a big show for the counseling, who is the sister of the brother, who is wants to see that the interest of a nephew shouldn't be negotiated, and he gets all the benefits or the facilities which he was getting when his father was alive. So thank you very much, Dr. Tulika Daji, because in this kind of cases where we find that the mother is not interested to take care of the child, in case she doesn't love her child, so the auntie and the grandmother child are the best who will be taking care of the interest of the child. So we were live on YouTube as well as Facebook, and we accept any kind of mental health related counseling. And in this kind of cases, the spirituality is also involved, so that all the parties involved in today's case must make it sure that the justice is provided to all the parties involved in this. And love is very important, which is there through the spirituality. And mother should also make it sure that since her husband is not there anymore, and she should also give all the cooperation to make sure that all the parties involved in today's case are suggested to give peace to the departed soul of the husband of this wife and the father of this child, so that a common suggestion should be accepted to all of them, that this young son has got the rest of the life when he needs the support of his mother, his auntie, and his grandmother. So thank you very much to all the participants for today's session. And we thanks to our all the subscribers and well-wishers, and wish them also for the Makar Sankranti, the New Year's Day. Good wishes for us. Thank you very much. And we were live, YouTube as well as Facebook. And we can be contacted for any kind of mental health retreat counseling on our number 9321070078. Session comes to end with this. Om Shanti.